Stop your search right now. What you are experiencing has a spiritual explanation that you need to hear. It is no coincidence that this message has reached you right now. Stay with me for a moment because there is a movement in the sky that directly involves you. Your faithfulness has been seen, and there is an answer for you. Your current situation is not the end of your story. It is very likely that during this time you have felt an invisible force trying to hinder your every step. Have you felt that, despite your efforts, something was blocking your peace or your resources? You are not alone in this. As a brother or sister in faith, I want to tell you that I perceive how many of you have gone through trials that seem endless. But today I tell you, heaven has taken note of your perseverance. Write in the comments, I trust in the justice of heaven, to seal this word. What's happening is that on a spiritual level, your patience has been acknowledged. You didn't arrive at this video due to a simple system error. The Holy Spirit knows your path and knows exactly when you needed a word of encouragement. A heavenly decree has been issued, bringing order where there was once confusion. For months, perhaps years, you felt like you're under a magnifying glass, as if every area of your life, your peace of mind, your goname, and your financial security were being unfairly attacked. You've watched others advance through deceit, while you, who have walked with integrity, felt stuck or even stripped bare. But listen carefully. Nothing you've been through has been in vain. Stay connected to this message because understanding this will change your perspective today. As someone who also trusts in the divine process, I speak to you who have maintained faith when the path grew dark. Sometimes we allow discouragement to whisper to us that those who do wrong always win. But the heavenly reality is different. A restoration of your peace and stability is being prepared, one that depends not on human hands, but on the will of the Most High. She affirms with faith in the comments, my provision comes from above. This is a moment of spiritual notification. It is time for you to know that access to the blessings that are yours by spiritual inheritance is being cleared. The systems that once blocked you or the people who tried to tarnish your reputation no longer have power over your destiny. Because when heaven chooses to favor a faithful child, no earthly barrier can stand in your way. Have you ever felt like you're swimming against the current, barely able to stay afloat? I know many of you, my brothers and sisters, have spent entire nights wondering why your efforts don't seem to bear immediate fruit. You've put your faith into action, sown hope in barren soil, and yet the harvest you expected seems to have stalled along the way. Write in the comments, right now, my faith is unwavering. To strengthen your spirit, sometimes the silence of the heavens feels heavy. You've retreated to your secret place, that corner of prayer where only God hears you, and you've asked an honest question, when will my time come? It's a human and valid doubt, especially when you see those who walk without values seeming to prosper, while you, who carefully consider each step, feel the path narrowing. As someone who walks alongside you on this path of faith, I understand that feeling of a hole in your pocket, where peace and stability seem to slip away without explanation. But today, I want you to shift your perspective. Don't disconnect, because what comes next holds the key to your tranquility. If this message is touching your heart, I invite you to subscribe to our community, share this video with someone who needs comfort, and leave your amen in the comments. Your interaction allows this word of hope to reach more souls who need it. The Judge of all creation has set his gaze upon your perseverance. We are not talking about a mere empty promise. We are talking about an act of divine justice already underway. There is a heavenly determination that not only halts the opposition you face, but transforms that resistance into the foundation for your future growth. She states with conviction, Heaven restores my peace. God isn't just stopping what was hurting you. He's allowing that entire difficult experience to strengthen your future. It's a complete restoration. The wisdom you gain from the trial and the strength you developed will be the driving force behind your new season of well-being. Stay until the end, because together we will acknowledge God's authority over our lives. We are witnessing a scenario of spiritual justice, where what was unjustly denied you is beginning to find its way back to you, not by chance, but by a perfect design that values your integrity. The provision you need, whether emotional, spiritual, or in your endeavors, is being released from the heavenly courts so that you can walk with your head held high. It is vital that you understand what is happening right now in the dimensions we cannot see. Imagine for a moment how justice works when the evidence is overwhelming. When a judge has irrefutable proof before them, they do not hesitate to issue a decree that mobilizes the authorities to restore order. Well, something very similar occurs in the celestial realm, and it is important that you recognize this. Write in the comments, "I receive divine justice," to align with this word. We must be aware that there is an adversary who operates with spiritual jargon. He seeks out any crack, any moment of doubt or fear, to try to occupy a space that doesn't belong to him in your life. He behaves like an intruder on someone else's property, settling into your peace, your thoughts, or your plans, hoping that you will become accustomed to his presence and accept scarcity or fear as normal. Don't let discouragement make you believe you have no rights. Listen carefully to what has changed in your favor. What makes a difference today is your testimony. As a brother or sister in faith, it fills me with hope to see how you have kept your heart pure despite the offenses. Do you realize the strength you had in not returning evil for evil? You didn't retaliate when you were hurt. You didn't close your hand or your generosity when times were tough, and you continued to offer your gratitude to the Creator even when you were in the uncertainty of waiting. She affirms with faith in the comments, "My heart belongs to the Most High." That silent faithfulness is irrefutable proof that the Judge of the universe has taken into account. The time has come for the intruder to vacate your land. It is not by your physical strength, but by the authority of the heavenly decree that supports you today. Your persistence in praise, even in the midst of waiting, has activated a response that can no longer be stopped. Stay with me, because we are discovering how to reclaim the land that belongs to you by spiritual inheritance. Heaven that you have watched over your path, and therefore the resistance you felt is losing its legitimacy. The obstacles are fading because your integrity has spoken louder than any accusation. Prepare to walk on the ground that has been given to you with the assurance that the one who called you is faithful to complete the work in you. Your perseverance has caused the books of heaven to open in your favor. Imagine for a moment that every tear and every act of faith has been recorded as evidence of your integrity. The Creator has reviewed your history and clearly seen every instance where attempts were made to deprive you of what rightfully belongs to you. Write in the comments, "My time is in your hands," and rest in that truth. Reflect on your recent experiences. Have you ever felt a sense of relief when an unexpected expense or a pointless problem arose? Perhaps it was that car that broke down at the worst possible moment, or the health issue that appeared out of nowhere, or even that well-deserved recognition for your work that ended up going to someone else. As a fellow believer, I tell you, don't blame yourself, thinking it was bad luck or a lack of planning. Many of these situations were attempts to drain your energy and peace. But this is where the heavenly perspective changes everything. There is a principle of eternal justice that states that when an unjust action is revealed, the restitution must be far greater than what was taken. He states with authority, "Nothing will stop me, because heaven has your back. God's intervention has exposed the forces that were trying to limit your growth. This is not a mere coincidence. This is the moment when the light of truth reveals what was hidden. God doesn't simply observe what happens. He intervenes to restore balance to your life. Don't turn your attention away, because what comes next is understanding how that justice manifests itself in your present. That feeling that your resources were slipping away or that your efforts weren't bearing fruit is coming to an end. The spiritual authority that surrounds you is taking control of the situation. What the thief of peace tried to withhold must now be released so that it can serve God's purpose for you. Prepare yourself, because the scales are tipping in your favor in a way that only the divine hand can bring about. Nothing you have sown has been lost in vain. There is an ancient and powerful promise that reminds us that the world's resources are ultimately meant to fulfill the purposes of those who walk in righteousness. Pay close attention to this concept. It is reserved. This means that what you feel you lack has not disappeared, nor has it vanished into thin air. It has simply been in the wrong place for a time. Write in the comments, "My inheritance is secure," and feel the peace of this promise. Imagine there is a spiritual account in your name, where every blessing that belongs to you has been safeguarded. What we're experiencing today is a movement of justice, where it's decreed that those resources, that peace, and those opportunities be released to their rightful owner. I'm pausing here briefly because, as you know, maintaining this connection requires a lot of energy and dedication. If you feel today's message is resonating with you and you'd like to honor the value you've received, you can buy me a symbolic coffee through my Ko-fi. It's a beautiful way to balance giving and receiving voluntarily, and it allows me to continue sharing these messages with you freely. I've left a direct link in the first pinned comment and also here below in the video description. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your presence and support. Namaste. As a fellow believer, I understand that sometimes things seem difficult, but we're talking about a recovery that doesn't depend on the laws of this world, but on the will of the Creator. Reclaim what is rightfully yours by divine decree. Do you feel overwhelmed by the size of your challenges or the complexity of the system? Don't be fooled by appearances. It's natural to think, how can this happen if the path seems blocked or my debts are so large? The mistake is focusing on the size of the obstacle. Today, I invite you to look up and see the strength of your defender. When the heavens issue a command, they aren't asking permission from circumstances, nor are they negotiating with the opposition. She states emphatically in the comments, God has the final say over my life. The Most High doesn't need the system to be fair to bless you, because He is the author of justice. He doesn't send suggestions. He sends His authority to ensure that what is yours reaches your hands. You are under a covering that moves pieces you can't even imagine. Those who try to hold you back will now be forced to release what doesn't belong to them, because the command to be free has been given. Stay tuned, because we're going to delve into how to welcome this new season with wisdom. No matter how strong the giant before you may seem, remember that a heavenly decree carries more weight than any earthly obstacle. The provision you need for your family, your projects, and your peace of mind is being moved right now in your direction. There is an unseen force working for you at this very moment. You are not alone in this battle. Spiritual teachings remind us that there are celestial messengers, beings of light sent specifically to assist those who have placed their trust in the divine. Because of the justice that has been activated today, these messengers have been deployed in all directions of your life, north, south, east, and west. Write in the comments, I accept help from heaven, and open your heart to something new. These messengers are reaching places you can't go. They're present in the offices where decisions are made, influencing the thoughts of those who have the authority to open doors for you. As a brother in faith, I tell you, Prepare to see how people who didn't even notice you before suddenly feel compelled to support you, to approve that project, or to lend you the hand you needed. Have you ever wondered how things change overnight? It's not luck. It's a move orchestrated from above. Don't remember the stories of faith where, even in the midst of oppression, an entire people was provided with resources from where they least expected them. Today, that same power is at work. God can cause even circumstances that seem to be against you to ultimately bless you. People who don't understand your principles will be moved to help you, to give you that job opportunity, or to expedite the process that seems stalled. She confidently states, "The doors are opening for me." This happens because divine will is unwavering. When the heavens decide it's your time to move forward, they create a sense of urgency in your environment, aligning everything with your well-being. This positive pressure is currently acting upon those who hold the key to your next opportunity. They won't understand why, but they will feel compelled to treat you fairly and acknowledge your worth. Stay with us, because we are understanding how peace and provision are found on your path. God's authority is constant. It's not a fleeting favor, but a decree that accompanies you. You are about to experience what it means to have the Creator's support in the smallest details of your daily life. Trust, for the path is being cleared so that you may walk freely. There is a force of justice that will not rest until what is yours is free. It is a vindication that comes directly from heaven. But I want to pause for a moment and speak to the hearts of those who are 55, 60, or even 70 years old today and are listening to me. I know that sometimes discouragement whispers to you that time has run out, that your best years are behind you, and that it's too late to see your dreams fulfilled or leave a legacy for your loved ones. Write in the comments, "God restores my time," and feel how your strength is renewed. Let me tell you, as your brother in faith, that today's heavenly decree includes a special clause. The restoration of time, the Most High is not limited to material provision. He has the power to restore to you the vitality and fruits of the years you felt were lost. There is an eternal promise that assures us that the years consumed by hardship will be more than compensated for. Can you imagine experiencing in a few months what took you years to try to achieve? That's spiritual acceleration. We are entering a season where time is compressed in your favor. What once seemed distant is now approaching with astonishing speed. It is the end of that exhausting cycle of almost that cycle where you were about to make a breakthrough, but something fell apart at the last second. Today, by divine authority, that pattern of interruption is definitively broken. He states with conviction, "I am entering my season of fulfillment." You will no longer live in almost, but in abundance. But be aware, because this requires a new mindset. As children of the light, we must be prepared to handle the abundance of peace, solutions, and opportunities that are coming. You cannot receive an extraordinary blessing if you maintain a mindset of scarcity or defeat. Don't back down, because what we're about to share will prepare you to manage what's coming. The cycle of loss has been broken. Now, prepare to walk in a cycle where stability and joy are the norm, not the exception. Your experience and wisdom, combined with divine favor, will make you a pillar for your family and community. Time is not your enemy when the master of time is on your side. Heaven's justice is immense, but it needs a vessel ready to receive it. Imagine the heavenly court releasing a constant flow of blessings toward you. But if your spirit is closed by fear, bitterness, or the habit of hoarding out of dread for the future, you will be creating an unnecessary blockage. As a fellow believer, I ask you, is your vessel ready for the abundance of peace and resources that is coming? Write in the comments, "I prepare my heart for the big things," and start changing your atmosphere. You should reflect on this. If you received that answer you've been asking for today, would you know what to do with it? God isn't just looking for you to pay your debts and sleep peacefully again. He has a greater purpose. When heaven supports you, it's so you can be a pillar of blessing for others, so you can build hope. And so your health can be the driving force behind serving His purpose. What would you do today if you knew that divine support is limitless? Your answer defines your capacity to receive. The restitution order has already been signed, but you are the official recipient. That's why it's urgent that you change your language. Stop using words that limit your future. Those phrases like "I can't," "it's too expensive for me," or "nothing good ever happens to me" have no place in this new chapter of your life. They are invisible chains that you yourself must break today. She states authoritatively in the comments, "I speak life and abundance over my home." In this news cycle, your words must align with heavenly reality, not earthly lack. Begin to visualize solutions arriving, paths opening, and resources flowing into your hands with a clear purpose. As someone who wants to see you prosper, I tell you, your language is the key that opens or closes the door to what heaven has already sent. Stay very close, because we are about to discover how to take the practical steps towards this new reality. You are being called to manage much more than before. It's not just about money, it's about influence, peace, and wisdom. When you change the way you speak, you change the frequency of your life and tune into the abundance God has prepared for His faithful children. Your language is the acknowledgement of your blessings. Imagine that every word of faith you speak is like signing for a package that has already been shipped and is about to arrive at your door. When you declare that the solution is on its way and that the resources are being processed on the spiritual plane, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of the Creator, who owns all the riches of the universe. Write in the comments, "I sign my decree of peace to attune to divine abundance." Speaking with this certainty is not presumption. It is acknowledgement of the verdict the Supreme Judge has already rendered in your favor. As a brother in faith, I tell you, today we are not here to beg for crumbs, nor to ask if it is God's will to bless us. We are here to stand firm in the word He has already spoken. We are assuming our role as stewards of the blessings that are our rightful inheritance from heaven. You feel how the atmosphere changes when you stop asking for permission and start claiming your peace? Now, I invite you to take a profound step. Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes for a moment, and eliminate any distractions around you. We are entering, in spirit, that place of authority where destinies are decided. This is not just any moment. It is an encounter with eternal justice. He states with conviction, "My voice has authority in heaven." Repeat these words in your mind or declare them forcefully in your spirit. Heavenly Father, Judge of all creation, I come before you today with the confidence of being your child. I thank you because you are a God of impeccable justice. Thank you because your gaze has always been upon my struggles, my silent efforts, and my nights of waiting. Remain in this position of faith, for we are formalizing your petition before the throne of grace. Feel the weight of worry begin to lift as you realize you have an advocate who never loses a case. You are not alone in this courtroom. You are backed by a promise that cannot be broken. What follows is the execution of that order, which will change the course of your life. Your tears have not fallen unseen. They have been seeds of justice. The Creator has taken note of every injustice and every time something was taken from you without reason. Today is the time to humbly but firmly accept that heavenly determination that has been set in motion against everything that stood in your way. Write in the comments, I accept the restoration of my peace. To activate this word in your life, as brothers and sisters in faith, we unite in the truth that when darkness tries to steal from us, the light returns, the fruit multiplied. Therefore, in this moment of authority, we declare that every negative influence that has tried to undermine your stability must withdraw. We call for the release of the resources and opportunities that have been withheld, allowing them to flow into your hands for a divine purpose. Can you feel the burden begin to lift when you reclaim what is rightfully yours by spiritual inheritance? We now invoke every opportunity that seemed lost and every recognition that was unjustly postponed. We declare that the commitments others have made to you are resolved under the grace of the Most High with an added value that only heaven can bestow. Messengers of peace, go now to the corners where your harvest lies stagnant. Go to the cardinal points of your existence and mobilize that which is yours. She affirms with faith in the comments, my spiritual storehouses are filled today. We are not here simply to get through the day or barely survive. The heavenly decree for you is that you live in such stability that you can be a pillar for your family, leaving a legacy of integrity and well-being for generations to come. We declare that the emotional debts and burdens that weighed on your shoulders are canceled by the authority of divine peace. Don't retire because we are about to seal this new stage of freedom. The heavy burden of the past is broken today. You are being equipped not only to restore what was lost, but to build something much bigger and stronger. Your path is cleared so you can walk with the assurance that your support is unwavering and eternal. Today, the limitations you've carried from the past come to an end. I raise my voice with you to declare that any cycle of lack that has affected your family for generations stops right now. We silence any thoughts of accusation or doubt that try to tell you that you are not worthy of this peace. The verdict has been delivered in your favor. Victory is a reality in your spirit, and the resolution of your conflicts is sealed under the highest authority that exists. Write in the comments, the verdict is in my favor, and feel the security of these words. Amen. Now, I ask you to take a deep breath. Can you feel the change in the atmosphere? What you perceive is the tranquility that justice brings. It's the feeling of a case that has finally been closed in the courts of heaven. The notification has been delivered, and the spiritual transaction has been successfully completed. If this video resonates with your soul or brings you clarity today, I invite you to close this circle of gratitude. I've left a link to my Ko-fi in the description and pinned comment. If you feel the urge to support my path and the creation of this content, your seed of abundance is welcome and deeply appreciated. Thank you for helping me continue to expand this light. Are you ready to see how what happened in the spirit begins to manifest in your physical world? Stay alert and keep your eyes wide open this week, because unexpected favor is about to knock on your door. Keep your faith active and your heart open for the news you've been waiting for. As a brother in faith, I assure you that the answer is already on its way. Chosen one, the battle has been real. But the triumph you have today is far more powerful. She states hopefully in the comments, I expect the unexpected from God. You don't have to walk this path of restoration alone. It's essential to be part of a community that understands the importance of spiritual strength and refuses to accept anything less than what the Creator has designed for His children. If you feel called to live a life guided by light and truth, this is the place for you. Don't disconnect, because what we share at the end will be the hallmark of your new season. We are here to equip ourselves, to strengthen one another, and to never back down from any challenge. Your place in this great family of faith is essential. By standing together, our ability to withstand adversity and walk in blessing is multiplied. Prepare yourself, because what you have received today is only the beginning of a complete transformation. We are building a family of faith that does not back down in the face of adversity. As brothers and sisters, we understand that spiritual unity is our greatest strength. If this message has resonated deep within you and confirmed what you already felt in your spirit, I invite you to perform a simple yet meaningful act. Express your support for this message. Write in the comments, "I join the divine purpose," and strengthen our union by interacting with this message. You are sending a signal of agreement with the verdict of peace and justice that has been declared over your life today. It is not a simple click. It is a way of telling the spiritual realm that you accept and embrace the transformation that is taking place. As someone who walks this path with you, I know that every act of faith counts towards solidifying your victory. Have you realized that your progress could be the key for someone else? Don't underestimate the power of sharing this light. I encourage you to be the instrument heaven uses today to open a door that seemed closed to someone else. Some times. A word of hope at the right moment is all it takes to break the chains of discouragement in the heart of a friend or family member. By sharing, you not only spread the message, but you also activate a spiritual law of generosity that always returns to you multiplied. She states with conviction in the comment, "I am a channel of blessing." Your spiritual generosity today can be the beginning of someone else's testimony tomorrow. Stand firm in this victorious stance, knowing that by blessing others, you are reaffirming your own position as a favored child. The path of restoration widens when we walk together and support one another toward the goal. Stay with us for the final words, because what's coming will close this cycle with a flourish. We are building something solid, based on truth and mutual support. Your presence here is not by chance. It is part of a larger desire where each of us has a vital role. Prepare to close this meeting with the certainty that nothing will ever be the same again. Every small action you take today resonates in the heavenly realms. As I mentioned, by expressing your faith and sharing this hope, you are entering into a covenant with divine justice. You become that instrument, that vessel of light that heaven uses to open the doors that kept others in despair. Isn't it wonderful to know that your own restoration can be the beginning of someone else's freedom? Write in the comments, "I protect my blessing with faith," to seal your victory. However, as a fellow believer walking beside you, I must offer you some vital advice. When a great spiritual victory is achieved, it's common for the opposition to try to find a small crack to get back in. It's as if, after being evicted, that intruder tries to find an open window or an unlocked door to reclaim the ground they've already lost. Are you taking care of your access to peace and your mind in this moment of triumph? Therefore, it is essential that you secure your spiritual home. It is not enough to receive the commandment of freedom. You must inhabit that freedom with wisdom and vigilance. Make sure that your house, that is, your heart and your thoughts, is filled with gratitude and the word of the Most High. When a life is filled with light, there is no room for shadows to try to return. He states authoritatively in the comments, "My home is heaven's territory." Keep your guard up through constant prayer and the company of people who uplift your spirit. The victory you have received today is a treasure that deserves to be protected. Do not allow past doubts or comments from those who do not understand your journey to reopen doors that the Supreme Judge has already closed forever. Don't leave, because we're just one step away from concluding this message with a thought that will change your night. You are in a position of authority. The enemy no longer has any legal rights over you, but it is your responsibility to keep that door locked. Trust in the protection that surrounds you and walk with the confidence of one who knows their defender is invincible. Invincible. The peace you have gained today is yours, and nothing can take it from you if you stand firm in the light. Your spiritual territory must be a sacred and protected place. Don't let the relief of victory make you lower your guard. As a brother in faith, my greatest wish is that this well-being you have received today is not fleeting, but a lasting stability in your life and the lives of your family. It is time to seal every crack and ensure that what heaven has given you remains under divine. Lock and key. Write this last statement in the comments. I seal my victory in the light and feel the fullness of closure. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you on this journey of justice and restoration. Remember that you do not walk alone and that the Supreme Judge is always on your side. Click now. Protect your home. And I'll see you at the next step on your spiritual path. Dear brother, today you have taken a giant step by acknowledging your worth before the heavenly courts. This transformation is not just words. It is a real change in your very being. My reflection for you is to embrace this new identity as a redeemed child. Do not let the past define your present, for heaven has already forgiven your debts and restored your time. Live today with your head held high, knowing that your peace is an inheritance that no one has the right to take from you. Blessings on this new journey. If you feel this message has transformed your perspective, remember to subscribe to strengthen your spirit each day. Share this final blessing and leave your comment of gratitude. Your victory is our joy.